Hey, Mike Healy here, and thank you so much for watching this APL Go review. Now, this is not one of those review videos that you see out there that's just trying to pitch you on some marketing tools or systems. This is a real review, and I'm going to cover quite a few things in it. Now, I did leave a kind of a crazy thumbnail on here to kind of get your attention, but I'm not typically insane as the photo might show. What I'm going to cover is we're going to talk about the product, talk about the company, we're going to talk about the comp plan, timing, and system. I believe these 5 components are the things that you have to really review to see if it's something you want to participate in. Now, if you're just looking at this from a product standpoint, this video might be too much detail for you. But if you're looking at this as some way to increase your income without having to do a lot of due diligence, I think I'm going to cover those things. Now, why can I bring you a review that would make sense or give you some advice on this? Is I've been doing networking full-time for over 23 years. You can see some of the photos here of me speaking at events and things like that. I've been one of the top recruiters in every company I've been in. I've been able to earn a tremendous amount of money with my businesses. My wife Stacy and I have been able to travel the world at the expense of most of these companies that run contests and so on. We've been on the cover of magazines, and I've typically become the top recruiter in pretty much every company I've joined in the last 10 years. So I kind of come to it from a position of strength. Now, first and foremost, why am I doing this type of business? Why networking? I barely graduated high school. I had no business background. I never went to college, things like that. And I just one day just said, hey, I can no longer do my bartending and bouncing career, which is what I was doing. I need to find something else, and networking came around, and so I had to study it. And when I wanted to study it and learn it, I became a family man at the same time. All of my kids, who I'm now the shortest guy in the house, have grown up with knowing me to do nothing but have a network marketing business of some sort. Okay, so there's a lot of potential, and the reason again was because we wanted to just basically be able to control our destiny. Now, recently I was introduced to a new company that's why I'm putting this review together to give you some advice on it, that is brand new, launching in the United States. They are actually a 9-year-old company doing over 100 million in sales, but they are now coming to some specific markets. What I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to cover product, opportunity, timing, comp plan, things like that, and most importantly, the system. When you see the system aspect of this, it's going to rock your world, because I know that people typically ask themselves 2 major questions when they're looking at something. Is it worth doing, and can I do it? Okay, and I'm going to show you those and cover that in a second. All right, so let's jump right into the product. Let's go to the PowerPoint, stick on it for a little bit. First and foremost, the product is unique. If you're joining anything, you have to have something that isn't a Me Too product that everybody else is just putting a different label on, okay? This company, Apl Go, is introducing the world's first anion DNA drop, okay? Now, what does that mean? On the right-hand side there, you're going to see it says, anions are the byproducts of UV rays from the sun, discharges of electricity in the air after thunderclap, lightning strikes, and so on. Okay, so if you've ever felt amazing after a lightning storm, you've been out in after a thunderstorm or something like that, you wonder why the air feels different, or why you sit by the ocean, you feel great, or waterfalls and things like that, is it's actually charging the air. Now, the cool part is, and I'm not giving you a huge science lesson here, is that plants are supercharged by lightning strikes. There's thousands and thousands of strikes of lightning daily around the world, and a lot of that is a scientific thing that helps generate these plants and give them the growing abilities they have. Okay, now on the right-hand side, they're harvested in most really good optimal supplements, or not supplements necessarily, but botanicals. That was the word I was looking for. Botanicals are really, really good. They've got lots of great science on them, but typically, like everything else that's a vegetable, fruit, and so on, once it's picked, it starts to lose that, because it's not getting that soil nutrients and so on, right? What this company has figured out how to do is this. This is what it all comes down to, is they handpick their botanicals at the peak of harvest, and they have a patented technology called Accumulate SA that restores that anion energy back into the plants while extracting their DNA. So what that means is they've actually made a product that once they've picked the botanicals, they get them to the lab, which they own their own labs and things like that. And what happens then is it charges it back up, so it's literally giving you the right thing. Now, the delivery system of this are through what they call lozenges, okay? Lozenges they come in these little boxes like this. This is one called ice. It's kind of for digestion. And what's cool about them is they just come in these little foil packs. This is a little smaller foil pack because I cut it and gave somebody some samples. But you suck on them so they don't go through your gut. They have, you don't have to worry about things like that. So it's a really, really unique product and they taste like candy, all right? So they've created 15 different ones. Now, from a business standpoint, we're going to talk about this page, and this is really, really important. They're quick. Most people, if they don't get some kind of instant gratification on products, they kind of go out the door. In today's day and age, everybody is instant gratification, drive-through, microwave popcorn, instant, okay? The other thing is this is a convenient product. It's light. If you wanted to mail samples to somebody, hand samples to somebody, you can do that. They're delicious. They literally taste like candy, but they're not overpowering. Kind of like a lifesaver. If you've ever had a lifesaver, you probably know the benefits, or not the benefits of a lifesaver, but you understand what they taste like. They're obviously safe, and it's a completely unique delivery system of botanicals, all right? They have 15 different products, as you can see. One of the things I do like about this company is their packaging and their marketing materials is second to none. It is absolutely A+ all the way across the board. Now, the products, what's nice is they have 15 different drops that cover a myriad of things, basically a lot of things, which makes this product efficacious. And I remember learning that word about 15 years ago, that it applies to a lot of things. It allows you to hit multiple things. And if you look at them, you've got immune support, you've got stamina, you've got things for mental clarity, you got things for weight loss, you got things with, to help people move with ease, things like that, calming sensations. And I'm not going to go into all the details. You can get specific product details if you'd like from the PowerPoint or PDF. You can, there's breathing things, detox, and so on. And what's nice, going back to the first one slide, is the price point's pretty simple. It's like $25 for their daily collection. They've got a premier collection that has obviously more botanicals in it. It's a little more. And then you've got their the premier collection, which do some amazing things. Now, the testimonies that are coming back are great. We've got Facebook groups that have thousands of people in them now. That are giving their testimonies, asking questions, and so on. So there's a lot of great proof out there of the product working. And these are people, a lot of them are just, hey, they don't want to do it as a business, they want to do it as a product, which makes for a good opportunity. If your product works, obviously people are going to do it. I personally think that you can't get to a $100 million a year company legitimately if the product doesn't work. Okay, it just wouldn't happen. All right. So from a product standpoint, you're looking at a really, really good, unique delivery product, and they do have like a skincare line, but I'm not going into that with this one. Next thing I want to talk about is company. Okay, so we've got the product out of line, or out of the way. I think it's important that you know where the company stands as far as growth. Are you in the right place, right time, that kind of thing. Well, if you look at businessforhome.org, which is one of the most famous websites out there that tracks all network marketing companies, they look at data. You're going to see right here in the revenue difference there, and 15%, 13 million. In revenue of 2015, they had $10 million in sales, 2016, 40, then 50, 55, 87, and over 100 in 2020. And these were primarily and then again, I'm telling you, they're just now launching in the United States, Australia, Mexico, Canada, I think is fairly new, and I'll show you where they're located as well. The other thing too is a lot of good companies have decent products, decent comp plans, and so on that look good up front. But one of the times that I've been in companies, they say, hey, you can get up to this kind of thing. On average, the estimated commission payment is around 63% of what they bring in is paid out to the field for referrals. So that's a really, really good thing. And they have a very good momentum rank as well, right? Now, one of the things that I do that you typically don't see is I'm not only just a good networker, I'm a good marketer, internet marketer. I understand all these type of things, and I make data-driven decisions. I use websites to go out there and look at traffic on things. Now, this site that I use right here, what I like about it is it shows me traffic of all websites, kind of globally, that kind of thing, where they come from. And I always like to see some nice, even trend lines when I'm looking at a company, because you can't lie to me anymore about if it's a good opportunity or your company's in momentum, that kind of thing. I'm not a rookie anymore, okay? I'm a pro, and I know how to find these things out. So what I look for is growth trends and things like that. And obviously, you know, some companies you'll see spike up, spike down because of conventions. But as long as you've got nice steady growth kind of curve, it doesn't have to be a mountain spike a lot of times. That's a good stable signal for you, okay? Good stable signal that there's some potential and people are sticking around, all right? As you can see from the site that I look at, it's just getting kind of started, and they're growing on a regular basis. So you're starting to see a nice beginning trend line of the growth of the company. The other thing I do is I go into my Google Ads account, and again, this might be too much detail for you, and I look again at keywords. I look for what kind of keywords are out there being searched, because a lot of times that will give you the overall idea of kind of who's looking for what, because people are talking, and obviously people come online and they do reviews. That's why I do videos. Some you know, just like this should pop up somewhere if you've ever typed in APLGo review or anything about the company, right? So I like to see these nice steady trend lines as well in those things. Now the company is these markets that are in color, you can kind of tell where they're at. You know, they have shipping in the United States already. So you don't have to worry about that, and it's usually within 3 to 5 business days. We got our product really quick, and so on. All right, so let's talk about the comp plan now. Let's cover that real quick. And I'm not going to give you a big detail on this. I'll do a video on comp plan in full detail shortly, but there are 11 different ways. Most companies do have multiple ways, obviously, but I think some of the important things is how quickly can you earn your money back. You know, for referring people, that kind of thing, to cover the cost of your product. I mean, networking has really been about that, is you get some product, if you like it, you tell some people, and hey, hopefully you tell enough people that your product is free and you're not paying for it out of your own pocket that month. And most people, or a lot of people, then take it to the next level to where they earn some extra money. So of the first ones, you get this fast start bonuses, which are obviously just when somebody purchases a product of any kind, whether it's a retail customer or they decide to be a distributor as a customer, you get upfront bonuses, fast starts, and it goes anywhere from 10 to 20% on the different packages that come in. You can get the details on that by looking at the comp plan. Now they have the unique thing here for the team that you would build, okay? So you've got your own stuff where you can retail the product, you got your own websites, you got your own things like that. But from a team standpoint, you can grow this thing called a ninery, okay? Now it's just kind of a fancy word for a hybrid binary, I guess you could say, or a hybrid unilevel in a way. But ninery is kind of a unique thing. It's actually the first time I've ever heard that phrase. But what it allows you to do is build multiple legs of business. You'll read through here. Now, I will tell you this slide says you cap a leg at $10,000 per month. That's what the slide says. It's actually per week, okay? So what you do is you build a leg of business where you get some people in, and then you build another team and another team and another team. You could build as many teams basically as you want. You build 9 legs. If each one of those capped out at $10,000 per week, you can kind of use your own imagination. Most people can't go that far, but that's what we're talking about. So there's a lot of ways to do it. So it's very simple. You don't have to think it out, and the company tracks everything and so on. The other thing too is as you grow a group and as you grow leaders in your group, they have matching bonuses, which means that if you get somebody in and they actually are working the thing and they start building a business, you actually have the ability to earn commissions, overrides off of what they earn, okay? It doesn't come out of their check, obviously, but that allows you, kind of pays you to get your business started. With the fast starts, then you start building your team, and then as you help develop leaders, I'm not saying turn into a manager or anything like that, but as you develop leaders, these check match bonuses go up to 7 generations, which is pretty significant, okay? It's really good that it helps you to supplement your income. And then kind of one of the last things I want to cover here is they obviously have a unilevel based on the auto ship orders. That means the repeat. Because somebody has their first order, that's what you get paid the fast start commission. Every order thereafter actually starts to build up what we call your unilevel. Unilevel meaning if you enrolled me, I'd be on your first level. If I enrolled Lisa would be on your second level, and Lisa would be on, Lisa enrolls Tom would be on your third level, that kind of thing. And you have different percentages. And the nice thing about this one, and this is kind of unique, I haven't seen a whole lot of companies that do this, is they pay out the higher percentages at the lower levels based on your status. you can actually earn your status by, or not even earn your status, you can actually get a status by the packages you purchase. I'm not going into that in detail, but they have a thing called diamond status that if you buy the largest pack they have, because it's somebody, obviously, only the people that would be out there building a business would buy the biggest package so they can do marketing, maybe, things like that. They grandfather you in at 10% on every single generation for 6 levels of your unit level. And again, networking is, to me, has always been about leverage. There are, kind of what they call static incomes, I guess you could say, or linear incomes, meaning if somebody's on a linear income, like $10 an hour, $50 an hour, or even $100 an hour, your income's capped because it's just you and you only have a certain amount of hours in a day. The power of networking has always been about leverage, okay? J. Paul Getty, one of the wealthiest people of all time, said, "I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own." So think about that, okay? So they've got a huge ability. Now, let's talk timing, and then we're going to go to the system, and you're going to be done here. And when I show you the system, it's all going to click. It's all going to make sense, and you're going to get real excited. Now, I look at companies as to how early or late I'm usually in on these companies, because that is an important component in this day and age, okay? There's no way to kind of go around it. But the law of diffusion of innovation, if you ever want to read up on that, just Google the law of diffusion, and you'll see this graph. Now, what I want to point out is we're kind of at the beginning where that red arrow is, and the tipping point is what they always talk about in the orange arrow. Now, the thing that I will show you, though, or what I want you to think of, is this doesn't mean that a company makes a curve. It's kind of the income opportunity necessarily in some capacity that you have that ability to get in before everybody knows about it, kind of thing. All right, so timing is kind of an issue, and that they've put in place here, or we have the ability from doing this. And usually, what's nice is you have usually between a 2 to 5 year kind of growth of a company that's going to be very, very big, and so on. I made 7 figures in a company one time, and I got in when the company was like 2 or 3 years old, but it was still going into that momentum phase, and was able to capitalize on that because there was enough social proof out there. The word started to spread, and so on. The key is you being involved while that is about to happen. All right, so let me talk to you about the system. This is my favorite thing, or probably one of the most important things I look at when I'm doing or jumping into a company. It has to be a system. And I'm not talking about, this is how you recruit, okay? I know how to recruit. Most people do not. And a system is not something necessarily, a lot of people think that, hey, if you teach somebody to do this, and they get in front of the room and they start giving presentations, that's not necessarily a system. Okay, I've got some great quotes that if you let them percolate in your brain a little bit, they're going to really help you. The system is the leverage by which you turn ordinary people into extraordinary performers. Great businesses do not look for extraordinary people. Great businesses look for ordinary people and leverage them with extraordinary systems. Think about that. Think McDonald's, okay? McDonald's does not hire the best and the brightest to work the thing, but they have a system in place that whenever you walk into a McDonald's, you and I could easily tell somebody, or we know exactly where the deep fryers are and where the milkshake machine is in most cases, okay? It's a systematic thing that's already put in place. That's why people buy franchises. It's what networking pitches a lot of times, but they typically don't have systems. I'm going to show you our system, okay? The last thing is, rather than motivate people to increase productivity, create systems to increase productivity, and the motivation will naturally follow. Motivation is a myth, in my opinion, but this slide, or this phrase kind of sums it up. That rather than motivate people to increase productivity, create systems to increase productivity, and the motivation will naturally follow. So check this out. They have developed, or they've partnered with a company called Rapid Funnel. And really what it does is it's a phone app that allows you to have a complete CRM system, recruiting system, funnel system. I mean, I've made funnels out the wazoo to get my business going, and helped with my teams and built funnels for my teams. And I was so excited to see this because I didn't have to do it all. And it does the follow-up for you. It does the training for you and everything. I mean, that's the thing. Think about this. I asked you at this very beginning of this, if you're still watching, or I told you that the majority of people have two things in their head. Is it worth doing and can I do it? Yes, it's worth doing because there's a tremendous income potential here. And I'm showing you right now how to do it. So what happens is you get this rapid funnel, you upload it onto your phone, you set up a new account, you go in, you can get part of our team, which is Go Team. That puts you on our group, our contest, that kind of thing. We have specific things for our team specifically. And then you click next, you fill out the information, your username and ID, and then it's going to say welcome, and it gets you started. It walks you through that. It adds some contacts for you, and so on. And then you can actually add your own contacts by clicking on it. You can either do it manually or you can actually import them. I typically import them because most people, think about this, who do you talk to? I talk to everybody. I never prejudge people. You don't know what somebody's dealing with both physically or financially. So why, I always try to be the messenger, never the message. This system allows you to do that. You type somebody's name in there, you add them. I obviously use my wife as a demo. You click on send resources, and it has a drop down menu of if you want to send somebody product information, skincare, or somebody maybe that you know is an opportunity focused person. But let's talk about the drops. If you literally click on that, you highlight one of the check marks, you can watch the review, you can figure out what it says. And then what it's going to do is it's going to text you. Now the cool part is you got this website that basically goes through everything, and they can go in, request a sample, and so on. And what's nice is the website basically has some great information on there that as it goes through, you're going to see this. It asks the questions for you, and these are pre-made landing pages that are already done that you don't have to set up, and it's personalized. You add your picture, phone number automatically, and everything you send out there. And if they click on something, it can take them to get a free sample. They set it up, you get the information, and boom, you are in business. You can click on more. You can get coaching from some of the top people in the company. You can click on how to do the app and so on. And this is probably one of my favorite things is when you get in, you can actually say, hey, I'm just a brand new person. I'm a little scared about doing this. And you can get somebody like in your upline by adding their email as your accountability partner. And then what would happen if you added me as your accountability partner, I would get an email similar to this that said, hey, Ben, one of my personals, has some activity. Okay, he has done something. So I know that he has a prospect that I can help him talk to. Think about that for a second. If you've ever been in networking, how hard it was to create or go through things and so on. So it's simple. They go in, you get the app and so on. But what it does is this to me, to sum up this system, is it allows you to focus on the core tasks of real prospecting and introducing people to the business by being the messenger, not the message. Focusing on what you can control, not what you can't control, which allows you to build something significant because it's just the numbers game. You never know where somebody happens to be at. And everybody, I don't care if you think you're in the NFL club, no friends left because you've pitched them on 10 different things. When you send them these things through this back office, most people respond. You actually can go in there and click on their name and get an activity report. You obviously get a notification when somebody does click on something and so on. So what I covered is this. I covered the product, and this is closing. We're done here. I covered the product. They have a great product, so we've checked that. The company, like I said, it's stable, and you have the ability to come in the timing window of being kind of ground floor with it already have worked out most of the headaches that you would ever have from a pre-launch or a new company. The comp plan is very, very simple. There's a tremendous amount of potential there if you go work it, okay, period. If you go work it. Timing, I talked about that a second ago, and the system. Again, I think that with this system, the ability to kind of just plug and play and having a unique product that's easily demonstrated, easy to ship, easy to just sample to people, it's amazing. I'll give you one more testimony on something which was kind of cool. Oh, that's the wrong one. I had another product that I used called Relax. RLX is actually what it was, and it kind of gives you a calming effect with which we were using. With my family, we flew down to Key West because it was kind of cold where I live in Ohio, And what was funny is I was in the airport and getting ready to get on the plane, and I was like, man, I'm tired. I'm just going to try to chill. And I pulled one of these out, and I just happened to be talking about it. I go, hey, who wants one? And my two boys, and my wife were like, yeah, give me one. And somebody sitting right behind us said, sitting in just a little waiting area, said, what is that? And I said, well, it's this product that helps you kind of relax. And he goes, can I have one? And I'm like, absolutely. I took the little packet, I popped the drop. I just basically, boom. I said, just suck on it and so on. And they're like, well, what is it? Okay, here's the key. I said, well, just if you give me your phone number, I'll text you some information on it. I didn't want to be the message. I wanted to just be the messenger. I let the thing do it. And I just went straight to the app. It was standing right there, boom, 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 put their information in and sent them a few resources and videos to watch and so on. And guess who's going to have a new customer or potentially a rep? This guy, right? So think about that for a second. Okay, this was not, hopefully you got a lot out of this video. You understand what we're looking at here. With all these things that happen to be in place, you have an opportunity to capitalize on the timing of being in early, but having systems in place, funnels in place basically, which is all the rage now, that will set you up for success if you go out there and work it. And obviously, we have a lot of good trainings and team stuff that we do, Facebook groups, things like that, to make sure that if you do join, that you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself, okay? So thanks again for watching the APLGo review. Hopefully you got a lot out of it. Feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear some if you got questions, or if you want me to send you a text to show you exactly the process of how that works. You can feel free to email me if you'd like, if you don't want to put your phone number in the comments below, but you could email me at mike@mikehealytraining.com, and then I'll send you a text on that information and so on. Obviously, reference what we were talking about here and so on. But anyhow, thanks again for checking this out. If somebody on my team showed this to you, then feel free to get back with them, obviously, and get set up and get started, because there's plenty of room at the top, and you deserve a good future. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the other videos. Thanks.